everyone. Tony from DeteCTing is Life. Just wanted to say Happy New Year's. Hope you guys all had a great time and everyone stayed safe and healthy. This is part 2 of the 2020 wrap-up. I'm sure you're all sick of hearing about 2020, so we're just going to get right into this video. Like I said, hope you guys had a Happy New Year. Thanks for watching, and here we go with the rest of the finds. So this would be part 2 of the 2020 wrap-up. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about 2020, but I couldn't fit it all into one video, so this is part 2. We got some Tootsie toys. We got some old lead horses, a lead dog, a lead figurine, a bunch of lead toys that I found that are all old, some Lesnies, some Tootsies. This is one that I was so bad that I was messing around and painted it with some nail polish, gave it a shiny red finish, and redid it. A little truck, looks like a little hot rod now. The roof's bent in, but that's the style. It's got a chop top. On to jewelry. I tried to keep it all together, all the Victorian era stuff. This beautiful filigree, probably one of my nicest pieces of jewelry of the year. An old pocket watch, I forgot what they would call these, just a chain to hold your pocket watch, a gold chain, bunch of fake stuff, but a lot of costume jewelry, old Victorian costume jewelry, all sorts of things. This is, I think, a Freemason pendant. It says absolutely nothing on it, and it just has a handshake. And it came from a very old property, so I can't see it being like a friendship pendant. This very odd, probably one of the weirdest pieces of jewelry pin that I found. I thought at first it was Buddha, but now it just looks like a creepy baby with big ears. I have no idea what that is. If anyone knows, please comment, because that thing creeps me out. Like I said, a bunch of Victorian costume jewelry, some small earrings, all sorts of stuff. Some Seneca pin, Jesus pin, be prepared, all sorts of stuff. This is actually a silver chain. It's got all sorts of bells on it. And then on to our precious jewelry. We got this beautiful bracelet here, solid silver, and if it would ever focus, you could see it says sterling on the inside. This, I think, is a very old, crude bracelet. It's all dinged up because I found it in one of my farm fields. And this thing looks like the plow has hit it about 20 times over the years, but it's crude and it has no engravings. But I think this is an old piece of silver jewelry. I thought I'd show you these. These are interesting. They're non-precious rings, but if you look on the inside, they used to scam people back in the day. They probably still do today. But if you can see that, it's marked 18 and has hallmarks. And as you can tell, it's a copper ring. Same thing with this one. Definitely a copper ring, but if you look on the inside, 18K. So scamming people, selling them fake wedding bands. We got a bunch of silver rings, an Irish Pride ring. This one looks like it has a wave on it, some with hearts, all sorts of different silver rings. None of them are too great, but nice, decent rings. And on to, oh, this is probably my favorite silver ring of the year. These look all different colors, so I would assume those are real stones. Sadly, the band is got a break in it, but. And then on to our big chonger gold rings. So this is all the gold for the year. Sorry, I did pawn some off. I needed to spend some money to get a new metal detector, so couple of my rings won't make the wrap up because they were scrapped, but we got some nice bands. 10 carat, a little signet ring, another nice ring with a fake stone, I would assume, seeing it's so scratched. This guy is a honker. This has a real diamond in it, unmarked. I would assume it's onyx around it. Another beautiful one that actually I had looked at by a jeweler, and they said it is a ruby in it. This one's 14 karat, made by D&F, which was, I looked up, which was a company out of New York. And probably our nicest ring of the year is this guy. Sorry, dropped it. That is beautiful. I would assume it's got to be some kind of designer ring. 14K UP. I tried doing a lot of research. I couldn't find anything, but all three diamonds are real, and the craftsmanship is just beautiful on it. Small little 10 karat ring. 2 small stones on the side are real. Pretty sure the one in the middle is just glass. It's just a tiny little 10 karat ring. Probably one of the coolest gold finds of the year is actually this gold pin that I've never seen anything like it. I tested it. It is 14 karat, but I've never seen a pin that actually has a gold pin also. I was wondering why it wasn't rotted out, because they're usually made of iron, and it is actually a gold pin. Probably one of the more interesting gold finds of the year. And we got ourselves a tiny little sterling earring. Nothing too special. And I didn't show a lot of my tokens because they're still to be released in upcoming videos. So just a quick brief rundown of some tokens, some trade tokens. Junior Fire Marshal badge. Have no idea what that one is. Looks like a seashell. That one has some kind of picture in it at some point. Got a Girl Scouts pin. Not sure what that one is. Came from a very old site though. Another token. I think that was a paper mill token. A Lions pin. A National Jamboree token. And this urn that made one of the latest videos. And like I said, we got a ton more charms and dog tags. I don't know how many dog tags I must find, dog licenses, but didn't want to show them all because some of them are coming in upcoming videos. But this is a little bit of part 2 of the wrap up. Next part of it is going to be all the coins for the year. So stay tuned. Our last and final part of part 2 of the annoying 2020 wrap-up is going to be all the coins, and this is kind of what got me into making YouTube videos. Is I kept finding some really interesting coins, and people were telling me I should start a video documenting what I find, and it's kind of what led me to doing YouTube videos with some of the amazing coins I found. So we'll get right into it and show you a quick glance at some of the great coins I pulled out in 2020. We got 3 Walking Liberties, beautiful 1853 seated $50. We got 2 seated quarters, 1873 with arrows. Beautiful, probably one of the nicest coins I dug condition wise is this this barber dime, or barber quarter, excuse me, D mint mark, that is absolutely in mint condition. Bunch of Standing Liberty quarters, still yet to find one. Actually, never mind, I finally did find one this year. I forgot with a date, 1929, but up to that point I had 4 with no dates. A bunch of Washington quarters, a couple more Washington quarters, and we got 2 seated dimes, a This was actually a seeded love token. It's hard to see, but it is an 1888 seeded love token. On the back it says Barbara, but it was fire damaged. I actually got 2 key date Barber dimes, 1895. I think there was only 600,000 made. We got an 1840 seeded half dime, a bunch more Barber dimes, 1907 beautiful 1912, another 1895 key date Barber dime. Sorry for the glare. It's hard to film through these sheets. We got ourselves some more Barber dimes. And we got, let's see, on to probably what I find the most of hunting my local parks are Mercury dimes. Really no key dates, no 1916D, just a ton of Mercury dimes. A bunch of Roosevelt dimes, a nice lawnmower cut Mercury dime. A bunch more Roosevelt dimes. What do we got here? Some more Roosevelt dimes. Buffalo nickels. Found my first ever shield nickel this year. It's in pretty decent condition for a shield nickel. A bunch of V's. Couple decent condition V nickels in 1906. I know there's a couple others in here. That one is not out of the ground. That one was found in a Coinstar machine. 1912 V nickel. Just a bunch of V nickels. Like I said, couple in decent condition. Nice 1908. All V nickels. And then we got another Buffalo nickel not dug from the ground, found in circulation. And then we got war nickels. Dug an awful lot of war nickels in 2020. Tons of war nickels. Okay, and these aren't all my large cents. A lot of the ones that are really bad I don't even bother putting in here. 1845 braided hair, matron head, a bunch of large cents, some hold ones, 1820, 1822 with a hole, 1837, no date. Beautiful 1809. Sorry, I'm trying to get the glare to stop. 1809 classic head half cent. Drape bust. Another drape bust that I hit with sandpaper because it had it was completely unideable, but as soon as I hit it with some sandpaper really heavy on a flat surface, I was actually able to get an ID out of it. Another classic head 1808. Another matron that I hit with some sandpaper because it had no ID. Another matron. Probably one of my favorite coins of the year. A beautiful, beautiful. This is actually probably one of the coins that really made me start doing YouTube videos. I pulled a unbelievably good condition Fujio cent out of the ground. I found another Fujio. This one is almost unrecognizable. You can barely see the chain around it. 2 flying eagles on the year. An 1857 and a no date wiped flying eagle. And let's see what else we got. I'm looking for my favorite matron head of the year. Let's see, we got some more matron heads up here. 1853 no date. Here's my favorite one of the year. This coin has a little story behind it. It is an 1818. I found the top half about a year and a half ago. I was kind of disappointed that I only got the top half of the coin with no date because it looked like it was in great condition. And a few months ago, before I started doing YouTube videos, about 1.5 miles away in a completely different field, I dug the bottom half of the coin. And I couldn't believe it because as soon as I looked at it, I said, that looks like the exact part of the one that I found over a year ago. And I got home, and as you can tell, the puzzle piece fits, and it is an 1818 matron head in pretty good condition. An 1830, an 1838, and then we got a bunch of Indians. Some in really good condition, some in pretty terrible condition. No key dates, but found an awful lot of Indians this year in one park specifically. 1874, that's a nice one. A beautiful 1865. It's funny, actually, some of my better Indians of the year were 1860s ones. Very early Indians. Like I said, we won't go too much into it because there's a ton of them. Dug a lot of Indian heads this year. 1886. And mixed in here too. I'm trying to see if I can see it through the lens as I'm talking to you guys. There are a couple fatty Indians mixed in here somewhere. Hiding in here somewhere. A couple fatties. Let's see. 1883. Another 1874. 1902, 1872, 1902. Don't you guys think it's strange? I never noticed that really until a few months back. Some have very large dates, like that 1902. And then some, like this 1870, you look and it has a tiny date. Large date, tiny date. Thought that was kind of interesting. Sorry if I'm babbling on. Here's an 1860 fatty. There you go. 1860 fatty Indian. I know there's quite more few fatties. Probably I went over them. But let's see. I already got some string in the way. This is an Indian actually that I was given by a friend who found under the carpet of an old house when he was redoing the carpet. What else we got? A beautiful 1888. That one is in great condition. Another 1860 fatty. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Some 1909 VDBs, couple from circulation, one I found. Beautiful steel scent. And this year I actually found 3 2-cent pieces. One is not in here because it is worse condition than that one is, so I didn't bother flipping it, but I did find a beautiful 1867 2-cent piece. Back is just as nice. Sorry it's going to be upside down for you guys, but that one, like I said, is in pretty rough condition. The third one is awful. And a beautiful tiny little trime this year, 1853, also in pretty good condition for the age. And we got ourselves a bunch of Colonial coins. We got a William and Mary, Irish halfpenny, a Charles, a James, a no ID, and we're gonna have just a bunch of King Georges. All varieties, all years, most with no dates. Sorry, it's hard to show you the date with the glare from my phone. 1750s. That one I thought was a counterfeit. We got a 1730. That's actually a tiny little farthing. Another halfpenny. George III farthing. We got lots and lots of King Georges were pulled out of the ground this year from a couple of my spots. Most of them are like most coppers and are completely wiped. Got lucky and found a few. Found this beautiful first ever King George I. You can see the difference. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but you can see the big rim, inner rim circle around the coin. That's what distinguishes that as a King George I. Let's see if I can show you the back side. I lost it. Where'd it go? It is right there. It's hard to see with the glare, but there's the rim. That is a King George I. What else? Another King George. This is another Irish one that my father actually found, 1782. Another George farthing. Some I've done some really drastic work on, even just to see if I could get anything off of them. They're slick. And here we go. We got some Connecticut's. This is a whole page of Connecticut coppers for this year. Connecticut. Another Connecticut. This is probably another one of my favorite coins. It's a childish face variety Connecticut, and it's an error coin. It's double stamped. If you look, if I can flip it, and you look on the back, you can see it was stamped, also off stamped on the back side of the coin. So a bunch of Connecticut coppers, some wiped, some readable. Some more modern British pennies that I found. Most of them are sorry on my Victorias and George V's. So that's a Vicky. And then we got some George V's, which are the more modern ones, like the 1911. And on to our Spanish for the year. This one's got flipped sideways. We got a 1773 half real. We got a 1776 half real. In 1807, Carlos IV. That was in one of my videos, actually. A wiped one. What I'm assuming is a 1 real. I can't make out anything on it, but you can see the size difference. Another hold Carlos. And then, let's see, we got some foreign coins. Polish coin. 1901 1-cent Dutch coin. I thought it was an interesting coin. It has a lion on it. I thought it was kind of cool design. 1899 1 Pfennig German. Caribbean 2-cent piece. This is probably the oldest thing I'll ever find in the United States. Had this looked at, actually, and also did a lot of research myself. That's hard to see, but if you see it says VII, that is actually a King Henry VIII trade weight. So it's from the 15th century, if I'm correct. I'm trying to remember. Either the 1500s or the 15th century. I think it's from the 16th century. It's from the 1500s. Canadian large cent. Couple Canadian silvers that we found this year. Nothing too special. What else we got here? That Hard Times tokens. Those were in one of my first videos, if you guys watched it. And then a bunch of different railroad tokens, trade tokens. This brooch I thought was really weird. I don't know if it's a coin or a brooch, but it looks like it has the all-seeing eye in it. It's kind of weird. 1841 Webster's Hard Times token, some transit tokens, celluloid starch token, an old cafe token. This was probably, I don't know, I should put this in with my Civil War stuff, but this is probably one of the neater coins too I found this year. Is a Civil War token. It says Constitution Forever. And if you turn it over, let's see if I can get you a picture of it. It's hard, but it looks like an Indian, and it's supposed to say not 1 cent. It is upside down. Sorry, I'm making this difficult for you guys, but it's supposed to say not 1 cent, but they scraped off the knot. This side's in much better condition, though. An old pool token. Have no idea what this is. It's a tiny little silver charm, and it looks like it said 1847, or 1840, sorry. It has a lantern on it. No clue. Another 5 cent in trade token. Chinese coin, and then 2 of these Holmes Booth and Hodges Waterbury, Connecticut trade tokens. And another Hard Times token. So, all together, it was a pretty good year. We found a lot of silver coins. We filled this book to the brim with Indians and Colonial coppers and all sorts of stuff. And hope you guys enjoy part 2 of the wrap-up. And Happy New Year's, everyone. Hope you had a great time. And let's hope 2021 is a much better year for everyone. Thanks for watching.